Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't like cheating. It doesn't matter if it's in a game, it doesn't matter if it's in a relationship. I just don't like anything that relates to cheating at all in anything. I like honesty and I guess integrity. As you can see, Smilegate released a notification regarding actions to be taken against ESA and World Cup 2023 misconductor. So, news came out on, I think, like Reddit and Billy and stuff, like a day ago or so, about how the last World Cup winner of 2023, Margarite, cheated in the tournament. So they kind of detail it, but essentially, they're going to punish him. They're going to revoke his title, disqualify him from all competitions going forward. They're going to kind of scrub him from the game as well, just like removing his name. Get rid of the Hall of Fame, stamp, all removed. His rights as a winner revoked, including forfeiture of any prize money earned. I'm not really sure how they're going to get the money back, to be honest. I mean, he's in like another country. He's in China and they're in Korea. Like, do they just ask and he can say no? I'm not really sure how that works. Yeah, you can't ever enter another tournament of any kind. And they also say they're going to strengthen the player monitoring. So participants, organizers, other stakeholders expected to uphold sportsmanship principles, require webcam and voice participation. I'm not really sure if that's enough, though. And yeah, basically they're just trying to make it stronger, and we're committed to enhancing the system vulnerable to abuse, such as in-game qualifiers to prevent any potential exploitation. Ensure improvements to the system so that unnecessary suspicions towards players and their gameplay can be avoided. Yeah, so I want to talk about this for multiple reasons. One, well, this is really disappointing because Marguerite was sort of like the underdog kind of guy, didn't have an account with like crazy money spent, but he still won the World Cup, which was really cool. But the fact that he had a guy in a call with him who was helping him draft is very blatantly cheating. And I've seen some people say, well, that's not really cheating. I've heard some people say something along the lines of like, well, coaches in football will be telling their players to. That's not the same at all. Imagine if I went to a, like, I don't know, a chess competition and I had Magnus Carlsen controlling, like, every move that I make. What, you think that's fair? Is that completely fair? It's a turn-based game. It's a strategy game. It's not like, you don't just tell somebody, hey, do a slam dunk in basketball, and they go, oh, okay, I'll do that, and then they just do it. Like, there's a lot more to it than that, right? But in a strategy game where it's like, do you hit S1, S2, S3, and who do you use it on? Like, there's not really that much else, right? So I don't really understand how people can make that argument. But Epic 7 has had a really prevalent issue with cheating. There is an insane amount of cheating that happens in Epic 7. And you could say most of it really doesn't matter because, I mean, come on, let's be honest, it's a pay-to-win gacha game, right? I mean, does anyone really respect that anyways? But even so, I do feel as though making it so stuff feels a little bit competitive and actually feel like there's a purpose and that there's some integrity to it does actually matter, I think. If you don't know the history of it, the first World Cup winner was Brother Stone, and he basically is completely open about the fact that he was literally piloted and somebody else was playing on his account, and he also had like a whole team of people helping out and stuff. Then the second World Cup winner, well, he was the guy who piloted Brother Stone's account, playing on an account given to him by Brother Stone on the Japan server. So that was the second World Cup winner. Wrap your head around that. And now the third one, Marguerite had a guy in the call with him. So every single World Cup winner is kind of tainted in some way with some form of cheating. And it's really unfortunate to see this kind of stuff because I just think it makes stuff less exciting, less interesting when people just go, oh, it's rigged or it's fixed or the cheating. Like, it's really crappy. And it's crappy for the people who also aren't cheating, which, well, they might be outnumbered, but it's unfortunate because, like, I mean, they're not cheating, right? And they're like, well, you know, nobody cares. No one's gonna feel that it's legit. For people who don't know, the previous World Cup, so this one in 2023, had an insane amount of cheaters. There was a crazy amount of cheaters in this World Cup. I was casting the World Cup, and I was aware of some of this, but essentially, there were like probably like almost every participant from the Asia region, I think, was literally like blatantly cheating. Not all of them, I don't think, but like a large amount. And you could say, well, how do you have proof? Dude, if you literally look at the picture of the player from the 2022 World Cup and you look at the picture for them from the 2023 World Cup, they're literally different people. It's the same account, they're different people, right? And we kind of know that they were piloted in 2022. And I think in 2023, they might have used their own picture. So, like, it was just a different person, right? Because they would have to actually fly to Korea. And going along with that, so anyone who was supposed to get into the finals would have to fly to Korea. Well, they didn't fly to Korea. What happened is the three people who were supposed to fly there were Margarite, Poopist, and Winter Wish. None of them went. What happened is Margarite went, well, I don't know if I can get my visa in time, guys. I don't know. Even though in the rules, you had to be able to fly to Korea. Like, you had to. That was part of the rules. Technically, you should just be disqualified immediately. And then Winter Wish said, like, I can't fly there either because I have some sort of, like, I don't know, student visa thing, or I don't even know. It was something where, like, he, like, legally can't go or something. But, I mean, you know, I like Winter Wish, but, you know, he couldn't go, so he should kind of be disqualified, right? That's just in the rules. It makes sense, right? And then we have Poopist, who was like, well, if the other two aren't going, then I feel like I shouldn't go. And I don't blame him at all. Like, being alone up on the stage would just be kind of weird. Like, you may as well not, right? The thing about cheating like this is it just doesn't matter if I like the person or not. I just think you should be disqualified if you break any of these rules. In the next World Cup, they should force you to show your passport or something, proof of it, to even, like, be able to enter or something like that. Because being able to stay at home makes it very easy to cheat. If you're on the stage, you can't really have a guy in your ear as easily telling you everything to do. So Smilegate says that they're going to be more strict with this stuff, and I sure hope that they are, because there's such an unbelievable epidemic of cheating in this game. Not only in the World Cup, every RTA season, probably a large amount of people get boosted into Legend. Now, that's a lot harder to deal with, crack down. And I don't really think Smilegate cares about cracking down on that stuff, because people know it, but it's not really, like, a big deal that people talk about all the time and people bring up. Like, people who are really, you know, involved with Epic 7 kind of know about this sort of stuff, though, right? There's just a huge boosting scene, cheating scene. People would, like, int into each other to give them wins, or people will pay somebody to play on their account. And there's an insane amount of that in the game. And I just think that Epic 7's integrity is, like, kind of just so low right now. And it's sad, because for anyone who actually likes the game, you kind of want it to feel more legitimate, right? And being a pay-to-win mobile game already kind of puts its legitimacy kind of low, right? But then to throw on heaping mounds of cheating on top of all that, it really just makes you feel like, man, no one's ever going to respect this crap, right? Like, it's just disappointing. So, all in all, it's too bad that this stuff happens. I don't think it's really going to change anytime soon. If the next World Cup, they're not super strict, then I'm going to be disappointed. I do think that Smilegate is a little scared about banning people or something, because, I mean, in the West, if you banned people, people would be like, haha, look at that idiot, look, they got banned, dumbass, look like that cheater, right? But a big thing I've seen in the East, and I'm not really trying to get, like, political with this or anything, this is merely a difference in culture. But something that I've definitely noticed, especially among some of the Chinese players, and I have an example of this, is that if you ban them even for a completely legitimate reason, their friends will be like, what the hell? Like, how could you do this? Like, that's it. I'm going to quit. Like, they might lose a bunch of whales, right? And an example of this is in this World Cup 2023 that had a bunch of cheaters in it, there was a player named Wellp who straight up cheated to get into the World Cup. He had multiple people into his account, and it was, like, so blatantly obvious. He climbed an absurd amount of points in a tiny period of time, where it's literally impossible unless your opponent is just yielding into you in the draft, right? Because it was a best of 3 every time versus people, so they would just yield into you like just over and over, right? And so he got kicked out of the World Cup because it was so blatantly obvious, right? And he got kicked out of the World Cup, and then all of his friends were like, what the hell? Like, this is so stupid, this is unfair. And they started, like, being really mad and stuff, and it's like, bro, he obviously cheated. Everybody knows he's cheated. Why would you even defend this person? Like, how, like, that's so shameless. It's so shameless to even defend that person. Like, are you kidding me? But I feel like everyone in the West would just be like, what an idiot, he got caught. We all know, like, just laugh at him, right? So maybe Smallgate's just afraid of just straight up banning people because, I mean, they would lose a bunch of money potentially. And it's too bad that it's like that because I think anyone who cheats should just be banned. Just straight up. If you cheat at all, you are permanently banned from the game. A lot of games do that, but unfortunately not this one. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about this since it's kind of fresh in a lot of people's minds and I find it kind of disappointing, but it's interesting nonetheless. And thanks a bunch for watching this video.